Can I tell you what I loved about the training? First of all, I love the energy of the training. So the way it's been positioned, the opening ceremonies, the opening prayers just feel so beautifully created, and you feel like you're truly welcomed into a sangha. And then each time we have a live call, that's just replicated and it goes deeper and deeper. And just seeing everyone's faces and being held by Laura, by Kristen, by Tina and Ali, I'm feeling safe to be a student because of how it's offered. That was the most important thing, actually, was feeling really safe to explore and to learn. And for something that's delivered solely online, it's outstanding how it's curated and offered so that we can move through, but also build on our own knowledge that we may already kind of be coming with, and we can explore it deeper, or brand new topics. And also the way that even all the delicate topics around appropriation or understanding the Sanskrit and honoring yoga's roots are addressed and shared, and the inquiries. I think it feels like a very grounded and rounded program for somebody that is either beginning, like has never done any yoga study at all before, or somebody that has maybe a few years of practice or understanding, or even someone that has been through a yoga teacher training before. My goodness, the School of Living Yoga faculty. I think firstly, what's really magical and very powerful is that you each have your own style of teaching, of moving through a sadhana. You've come from different experiences, and yet your energies all weave together really beautifully, so that when we're going through the training, for example, and we each get to practice a sadhana with each of you, we get to experience so many different offerings within the same theme. So whether you're in module 1, you're in Muladhara, or you're working through the modules and the chakras and the themes and the energy, you each have your own way of expressing that and sharing that. And then everyone on the School of Living Yoga faculty, everyone's energy is so engaging and loving and welcoming that you just can't help but feel you're in the right place. And also the way you all complement each other. So when we're on say the live trainings and we're all working through, like if you're offering feedback or we're in a listening space or something, the way that each of you really honor everyone's voices and you honor each other's voices. And if there's something to add, it's done so delicately, not in a way that's like, well, I've got something to add and you missed this out. It's just like, I'm just going to presence this extra thing, and that was such a beautiful way of sharing it, and I'm just going to add to it this way. So it's almost like your energies sort of layer and weave again into each other. It's just such a safe space to be, as safe as any space you can make. For me, the Thinkific classroom actually works really well. And what I've witnessed is, because it's set out so clearly, you can easily access all the modules. And because it sort of builds on each other, it flows really nicely. And I also love the way that you can just sort of add in extra bits into Thinkific. So the way that you've got the pinwheels, and you can access YouTube videos, so you can link to so much more if you want to explore a certain theme or topic in more depth. If it's something that calls to you and speaks to you, you can click on all the additional materials. And also the way that you can add in additional materials from other teachers or other spaces, so the recommended readings, etc. Especially in the Ayurvedic portion, there was a lot of additional things to click on, so that was really helpful. And then actually the Facebook group, some Facebook groups work really well and some not so much, but this one works so well because it's so ordered, and there's ways that you can just click in from the Thinkific classroom and leave your feedback. And also because each of the students are so engaged, so we all support each other in the Facebook group, and all of the mentors are in there supporting and loving and giving feedback and comments. So you feel really seen in the moments where you're invited to give any feedback or share your experience within a certain practice or module. So both of those two together work really well, because an online training might feel very disengaged, but it actually feels really engaged, because you can always, wherever you are in the world, whatever time it is, you can leave your feedback and someone will respond to that, fairly quickly. And you get to engage in the moment of learning, the ahas or the magic that you had, or if you had a question that you weren't certain about, someone would just pop in and answer it. It was actually really lovely to be put in Aditam groups and then to be able to share and talk in a smaller group. So we meet on the connection calls, and then you get to meet your Aditam group. And then, of course, there are connections that deepen in that space as well. And then also in the connection calls, you get to meet with others that you're not in an Aditam group with. So when we're in the little breakout rooms and when we're in a sharing space or a listening space, you get to meet somebody else and hear where they are on their journey. And from that, there's such connection, and you end up speaking on the phone with people or meeting one-on-one with people. And it just feels like you're in a big group of friends, you're in a big family, including the faculty, because everyone is just so open and loving and encouraging. If you are interested in understanding and embodying your own wisdom and learning from the wisdom teachings and diving into something that you've been longing to explore, this is the space to be. And you won't regret it. It will be something that enriches your life and enriches the life of everyone around you. And no matter what you feel you'd like to do with the teachings, so whether you're coming in just for your own embodied wisdom to understand yogic teachings and the philosophy in a deeper way, or if you're wanting to teach and you know that already, really it sort of unfolds and reveals itself through the teaching. And it's a space where there's no expectations. You just get to be you get to explore, you get to find out what really speaks to you. And throughout the teaching, there are these opportunities for holistic healing that unfold. And when you look back from where you were at the beginning to where you are at the end, and what you know of yourself and how you feel about yourself, it can be like this dramatic difference of confidence and inner knowing and trust and possibility. It really is a beautifully curated teacher training. And what I love is watching and hearing how everyone's offering their practices, whether it's in local parks or local communities or with their friends and family, how it's informed their work, whether they are a lawyer or they're a counselor or a therapist or a teacher or whatever. You just get to hear how it's influenced their own energy and their own life, and then how that's rippling into their communities. It's really precious. For me, this was a long held dream to train and become a yoga facilitator, a yoga guide, and to understand what that really meant. And there have been times over the years where I thought, oh, I probably won't do it now. I'll just continue to be a student and read and go to practices, and then I am so glad that I got the opportunity to participate, because so much has changed by being in the program, by getting to know everyone. When we talk about tapas, and that was something that I dedicated to at the beginning, was tapas and ahimsa, so non-harm, taking care of myself, noticing where there were moments where I wasn't taking care of myself, and maybe there was behaviors that weren't really serving me and weren't really helpful. By having this container to be held in, it allowed me to change patterns of behavior that allowed me then to grow and to transform. So really understanding the wisdom teachings and allowing them to practically impact my life has been the best gift, the absolute best gift. And just knowing that when you think, oh, life's too much and I can't carry on, and maybe I'm not good enough and I don't understand enough, I'm never going to get it. There's another moment where you watch another part of the training and you settle right back in again and go, and you just know that it's okay to be exactly where you are. I don't know if that all makes sense, but that for me, the container of safety, the container of the family, of being able to be vulnerable and be okay with that, even in the not okayness, and to really lean into the wisdom teachings, knowing that if I didn't get something or if it didn't make sense, I could reread something or I could speak to one of you, and there would be some clarity or some offering of inspiration that settled my racing mind or my inquisitive mind, or anything like that. It just allowed me to feel, no, this is okay. It's okay to be right here, right now. That's exactly it. It's that thread that weaves, that you're held, so that even if you unravel a little bit, you can get back into the tapestry really easily. And I will just presence, whilst we're talking, that over a time when I was having a really difficult time, and the fact that you get to be in the online studio as well for part of the training, for anyone thinking about doing the training, you get access to weekly sessions, and those sort of ongoing practices mean that you're held. So there's always something, whatever you're experiencing, that's going to help you feel held. And that for me just came at exactly the right moment.